Shalom, shalom, Israel. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahawah, YAHAWASHI, YAHAWADAH. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom to my Ak and YAHAWAH who are diligently waiting to be delivered from this final captivity. This is Brother Kawakub coming at you, no lesson. Sirach chapter 39 verse 28. There be spirits are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sword strokes. In the time of destruction, they part their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. Now, today's going to be a movie review because I saw literally like the most indisputable 9 out of 10 movie I've ever seen in a while. And I say this from a pure objectivity, not some, oh, I really liked it personally, but this is like an actual like 9 out of 10 fully spiritual movie, because there was so much in it that was actually like genuine truth, genuine realness to it. And it was a Christian, it kind of seemed like it was a Christian movie. I won't say that it was a fully Christian movie, but it seemed like that was the purpose of the movie. But outside of that, it's like the things that they show, it's the ending, I'll say, for the most part, was kind of dumb, like kind of trash, which is one of the main, that as well as the Edomite values that they have in it. That's literally all that they took away from it. Outside of that, the build up, everything else, the setting, it all happening in one day was actually 10 out of 10. Definitely go watch this movie, Nefarious. Like, this is like one of the best, most spiritual movies ever. And the thing is, I said I was gonna go watch it again. I said I was gonna go watch it again because, like, obviously, like, there are times when, like, when you go see a movie the first time, you don't notice the things until after the second time you watch it. But for me, as I was watching it the first time, I already felt like, okay, well, I can already see the movies, I can already see the details and understand the things that he's actually saying the first time around. So I kind of feel like there's not much for me to watch, but I still have a feeling, I still have a need or a desire to watch it again, because I do believe there may be some things that I did not catch the first time. Aside from that, there's, if you this is gonna involve lots of spoilers. Maybe not spoilers for the whole movie, but there's gonna be spoilers in here, so definitely go watch it yourself. But to actually begin, what happened was, this inmate is possessed by a demon. And the funny thing about this is that the demon is basically trying to ruin the life of the guy, and it is in a kind of like basic type of way, where if you've ever seen like Hellboy and whatnot, where there's young people or either kids that make deals with demons and stuff like that. That's basically kind of how that was the premise of this character's story on how he got possessed. Okay, he basically said, so ever since he was young, like the kid, or he would always do bad stuff, and then unpossess his body. The demon would always do bad stuff and unpossess the guy, for the guy to suffer the consequences of his actions. All right, so it's like, yes, that's kind of, it's messed up and all that stuff. That's all that stuff that's going on. And in terms of like the whole biblical aspect of it, I wouldn't really necessarily say that's 100% scriptural. Because I don't know like the inner details on like demon possession. All I know is what we've seen, or the few instances that we've seen in the scriptures. All right, so when it comes to this whole demon possession thing, actually I'm gonna get it, but I just want to keep on talking about the movie. But so basically, these demons have extensive knowledge, extensive knowledge on basically everyone. Oh no, hell no. These Rotten Tomatoes, IMDb, and all these people. Okay, well, this is good. Amazon is giving it a appropriate rating, but these other two, no. And that goes to show that people just don't have the proper understanding. This was a definitely top tier movie. Anyway, as I was saying, in terms of the movie which was the demon has extensive knowledge on, people, if not the people that they care to know about. All right. So as a result of that, it's like in the movie, early on, the demon was already talking to the therapist dude and telling him all this stuff that that he couldn't have possibly had known. On top of that, again, this is a spoiler. Top of that, what happened was the demon had made a book and a scrapbook on had made a book and a scrapbook on the guy that he was, or the therapist is on the therapist ever since he was a child, having pictures of him, knowing about every detail that even the therapist didn't even know on himself. All right, so it's like the therapist is constantly being shown that this is some supernatural stuff, and he just doesn't believe it. And another thing about the ending another thing about the ending that is that's kind of stupid was the dude almost killed himself by shooting himself in the head with his own gun. Okay, the gun jammed 3 times. He shot himself 3 times, and the gun or the bullet didn't fire. But when the people took the gun from him and tried to shoot the gun, it worked. And he's thinking that is supposed to be a what's the word? A miracle from quote unquote God. All right, but that can't be a miracle from God, because the thing is that the demon told him that he wanted him alive for him to publish his book, which he ended up doing, which he wouldn't have been able to do if he had killed himself right then and there. All right, so I don't know why he was thinking. Number one, I don't know why he published the book if he wasn't being possessed, which I still hold to some belief that he might be partially possessed. I don't know, or in a moment when he chooses not to, he's going to get possessed again, because another thing that happened while he was talking to the demon was he said, "You have full control over me. I'll let you take over me and whatnot." And I believe that the demon intentionally chose not to possess him, because he's waiting for the opportune time, just as he did with the when the guy almost killed himself. All right, so there you have these different things that are happening, and again, like it's a really great movie, but at the end of it, it's like it didn't make much sense. They were trying to make it seem like, and this is where the Christian aspect of it comes into play, which I didn't like, ironically enough, but the Christian aspect of it, where they're trying to say, oh, God saved the guy from killing himself, or God saved him from that demon possession, God saved him from this, that, and whatever, when, like, if that was the case, why did you basically continue doing what the demon wanted you to do? If you were smart, you would have burned the book and everything about it. You should have just said, "Hey, everyone, look out for demons. Demons are real. I am an atheist. I was an atheist, whatever, and this is what happened." But instead, he did exactly what the demon said. Like this, that was incredibly stupid, which is why I was very disappointed with the ending. But outside of the ending, everything else, it was very good. It was very accurate, and they were, funnily enough, quoting scripture, all right, which ironic because you always have demons quoting scriptures, but you won't have Christians knowing scriptures. All right, so continuing on. I'm trying to think if I'm missing anything else. Oh yes, okay. There was another thing that happened in the movie. The dude, he literally broke his pinky, and then there was no magic or anything like that, which was surprising. I was expecting some sort of magic or supernatural thing happening outside of demon possession, but the demon broke the prisoner's finger, and then he put it back in, but there was some internal bleeding or whatever, because there was that red mark, which good attention to detail on the filmmakers part when they added that, when they kept that in. All right, so the dude broke his finger and then he reattached it in the thing. All right, so next thing, Sirach chapter 40 verse 9, death and bloodshed, strife and sword and calamities, famine, tribulation, and a scourge, these things are created for the wicked, and for their sake came the flood. And the thing is that stuff like this is judgment from the Lord. And whenever stuff like this happens, when someone gets possessed or get hurt or like this is judgment from the Lord. The Lord puts spirits, and you see this in the word swords. All right, sword and tribulation in general. Anytime someone wants to be contentious or something like that, it's because the Lord put a demon on them to want to engage in strife. All right. And this is where stuff like this happens, even internally, and someone has to deal with demons hopping on them to do wickedly. All right, so let's continue. Let me also get another thing I remembered thanks to this verse. One scripture that they had mentioned was Matthew chapter 4 verse 8. Again, the devil taketh him up into an exceeding high mountain, and showeth him all of the kingdoms of the world and the glory of them, and he saith unto them, all these things will I give thee, if thou wilt fall down and worship me. Then saith Yahawashi unto him, Get thee hence, Satan, for it is written, thou shalt worship the Lord thy power, and him only shalt thou serve. And that's the thing. This was the thing. In the movie, he acknowledged, which I'm very surprised that they know this, but he acknowledged, or the demon acknowledged, that in the scriptures when it says this, Yahawashi knew that Satan wasn't lying, because Satan was not lying when he made this offer. And what happened was the demon was trying to offer that exact same thing into the therapist to be his dark messiah or whatever, or the evil equivalent or demonic equivalent. That was one of the main goals of the demon in the thing. And as a result of that, one thing I will say I'm surprised of is he didn't accept the offer. It doesn't make sense how that's another thing I want to get into as well. It doesn't make sense how being an atheist and being so scared to let the demon in, because he was apprehensive at first. He didn't want to say, I give you permission. All right, so that, number one, I was like, well, yeah, you're an atheist. And Slocky, there was often times when the demon would point out flaws in the atheist's theology, when I thought that is pretty funny. And there would be these odd times when I would side ideology with the demon, because the atheist dude was just being so disingenuous and dishonest every time we was trying to talk or trying to make a point, because they were talking heavily a lot about theology and stuff like that. And as a result of that, it's like he sees all this stuff, but he doesn't care about the proof, which is how people work, today. All right, even if they see proof, even if you break stuff down for someone, they don't care about all the proof that you provide them. Okay, because and that was another thing. He said, "How I told you how I know because I'm a demon. I see all this stuff." And then the atheist was like, "Oh, I don't believe in that stuff. Tell me, how did you actually know?" And then the dude lies his eyes and says, "Okay, well, it's because I'm stalking you. I'm looking at you from a telescope," or whatever he said, and from the jail cell. He said, "That doesn't make sense. You're lying to me. Tell me how you know." And then again, he's like, "If I tell you the truth, you don't believe me. If I lie to you, you don't believe me. So what do you want? How do you want me to tell you?" And that's what he said. All right. And also, if I can remember, the next thing that he said was fuck, I forgot it. Because there was a really good one. I need to write these stuff down next time. But basically, it's like you see fuck. I really want to remember. Shit. Okay, whatever. Anyway, so yeah, basically it's like the demon is offering him, the world and a position in the world, but now I remember. Okay, so yeah, basically when they were talking about, the atheist was saying everyone is as free as they can be. This is the best time to live in. All right, and then again, ironically, all right, and I don't take pride in siding with the devil, all right, because they're both demons in this instance, but I don't take pride in it. But again, I was agreeing with the demon, because when the atheist said we're in the best time to be alive, everyone's free, everyone is thing, we're all get along, and this is the third, this is the safest, blah blah, saying all that bullshit that Esau likes to say, when in actuality that's not true. All that stuff he wasn't true, and there was so many statistics that the demon had pointed out, saying there is so many racism. There's 50 million. I think he said 50 million. I forgot the number. 50 million people are slaves, and half of them are sex slaves and stuff like that. Like, there was some real, like, terrible stuff. All right, and then, another aspect of it was he had told him that before he left today, that the therapist would commit 3 murders. I only saw 2 murders. I don't know the third murder that he did. But anyway, he said he would commit 3 murders, and that basically most of the stuff, if not all, came true. Like, the guy would publish the book. The dude would commit these murders and stuff like that, and the murders came in the sense of the first one. He said that the guy killed his mother in order to inherit all her money. Okay, so he did that, yeah, and he kind of admitted to that, even though that's like, who could have known that? But yet he still didn't want to believe that he was working with the demon. Okay, and then the second murder was his girlfriend. He had a girlfriend, or the therapist had a girlfriend, and basically got her pregnant. And the demon said, "You can go right now to call her and tell her you don't need to abort the baby." And then literally, when he tried to call her after stalling, and number one, stalling, indeed, I feel like he was stalling, and number 2, fighting against him, or denying the accusations and stuff like that. The demon even said, "Oh, you're too late now. She's already going in as we speak," and he didn't even care about that. He didn't care about that. He's basically ignoring all that stuff. So that's the second murder that he did. And then the third murder was the fact that he did know deep down in his heart of hearts that the guy was a demon, but he intentionally did not care, and he thought that he was so prideful. He thought that or he just wanted he did it out of spite. I don't know what the reason was, but basically he just ignored it, and he sentenced that man to death because he sentenced that man to death just because or whatever. I don't remember the emotion or detail, but yeah. So he killed that the host's body. All right, the inmate that was being possessed, even though he knew that that was a demon, and that demon left his body at the end of it to inhabit him. All right, so yeah, basically, like, there's all this stuff that's going on. It's like he had the opportunity to do the right thing, and it's like you're constantly making the wrong choices, and it gets to a point where, with those two opportunities to save lives, the two opportunities to prove the demon wrong, at the very least, okay, at the bare minimum, just to be spiteful to the demon, not because you actually believe in the things that he said, but just to spite him. He couldn't have, at the bare minimum, said, A, don't get the abortion, or A, let him live and whatnot. But the thing is, for the killing of the inmate, that made more sense, because he basically was going in. The killing the inmate made sense because he didn't know if he was going to come after him later on down the line, and that was a very real concern. All right, so Matthew chapter 8 verse 28. And when he has come to the other side of the country of Gergeses, there met him two possessed with devils, coming out of the tombs, exceeding fierce, so that no man might pass by that way. And behold, they cried out, saying, What have we to do with thee, YAHAWASHI, thou son of YAHAWAH? Thou son of YAHAWAH, art thou come hither to torment us before the time? So over here you have demons that were possessing people, and there was let me go back to the movie. In the movie, what happened was they brought a priest in, and I kind of feel like, from my understanding, the demon was pretending to be afraid of the priest, and that's only my understanding. It's not confirmation. There was kind of soft confirmed after the priest left, and he called the priest a poser, because the priest had never encountered or dealt with any sort of demon possession before. He literally said that. So the demon called him a poser. The fuck was that? The demon called him a poser, and saying that, he's not real, I was like whatever to him. And with that being said, it also goes to show that even with them, they know, even these Christians, they know that these priests and whatnot, these pastors, whatever, they aren't in any type of real alignment, or have any real power on the spiritual side of things. Okay, they are priests in name alone, but not in actual works. But okay, look at YAHAWASHI. All right, because I think I heard an instance where there was a disciple that was known of the demons. Like, the demons knew who one of the disciples were, I think, but I don't know where in the scriptures that is. All I do know is that demons did know YAHAWASHI. All right. So as a result of that, it's just these demons, they tend to basically fall in order. All right, they basically fall in order, and to know, like, when we're not going to mess with these, with this person or these people specifically, because they are, the Lord is dealing with them. YAHAWAH is dealing with them. They are high positions, they're very spiritual and whatnot. So we're gonna steer clear from them and do our work on to the people where it matters. All right, which as a result of that, it's like, as we have in here, which I just read, the demon said Yahawashi's name and knew who Yahawashi was, whereas that demon, because and the reason why I say is because like it's like the fame of the person. Like if someone is constantly, just like in any type of media, if someone's constantly doing something, like say like they're known for being a problem to certain people. Like we know the fame of Esau. Like, every Jake knows how it is to be Jake, to live in Babylon, where they steer clear from Esau, Edom. And it's in that same sense where we are steering clear from. It's like not we. The demons are going to steer clear from us in that sense, or if they have to interact with us, they're going to try to minimize it or try to stay away because they know that they can't hang with the men of the Lord. All right, and this would have been an example of that. But the thing is that he didn't recognize the thing. He just kind of, I guess, played the part and acted that way. And again, in my opinion, or to my understanding towards the priest, he didn't. I don't believe. I could be wrong, but I don't believe they was actually afraid of him in any way, shape, or form. Because like he didn't really like change, and the real host didn't like come out for a second and whatnot. All right, so yeah. Also, basically, the dude was a master manipulator, where he was very, very, very good at manipulating people to do what he wants. As he made the previous therapist kill himself, jump off a cliff, which it kind of seemed like it was murder or something like that. But regardless. Yeah, basically, that's basically it. Definitely go watch this movie. This was a very great movie. I'm gonna watch it again. Yahawadah, I might return and make a part 2, but outside of that, you definitely go watch the movie for yourself. So with that, praise this was edifying. I'm going to give all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahawah, SHAMAIWAN, the elders and apostles, great millstone, above the ball, and Shalom.